When you're starting out, you probably can't wait to go out there and explore. However, the beginning can be pretty rough, even more so because poor Henry starts off in his underwear. So if you're looking for tips and tricks to help you on your way and set you up with the basics, at the end of this video you'll be fully equipped with weapons and wisdom to face this beautiful but harsh medieval world. Plus I'll add some follow-up recommendations of things that I found to be useful to do afterwards. I've put everything in sequence, so sit back, follow along if you want to, and welcome to this beginner's guide to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
That is fucking impressive.
And we're going to start right after your night out in Troskovitz at the local pillory. Go talk to Bera, the woman across the street, and explore all dialogue options. She'll give you a lockpick, some money, and most importantly, directions to a man named Tomcat, but we'll get to him later. Exploring all dialogue options is something you'll want to keep doing throughout the game, since this will improve your speech skill level, which in turn is used to pass skill checks in some conversations. Actually, we need this skill to be as high as possible for one of the last parts in this video, but first you'll want to put on some clothing, because even in medieval times, a man running across town in his underwear is still frowned upon. Next, you'll want to clean yourself up a bit by washing yourself in a trough. You can find one over here. Now let's kick things off by taking a look at how you can find some items for free you can either use or sell for some easy money. Some trees will contain a bird's nest, which you can knock down from the tree by crouching down and throwing a rock at it. The aiming is a little bit wonky and might take some getting used to, since you have to aim slightly off to the left. Loot it and then we'll move on to that tree over there. Now you'll want to keep an eye out for where the nests land, because they can be hard to locate sometimes in tall grass, or on occasion this happens. The game's physics will send it cartwheeling down the terrain, so you have to chase after it, but you can pretty much catch up with it by sprinting. This nest contains a nice silver ring, which you can equip to increase your charisma level or sell for coin. Next we'll get some food. Pass through this alley and up ahead you'll see a pasture to your right and some farmland to your left. Behind the crops you'll see some beehives that you can loot for honey. Honey can be used as food, and when you've checked all of these, you can still find some more hives off to the right. And when you've looted all of these, even more hives are up on the hill beyond this stream. Now honey is a great food source because it has an excellent nutritional value of 31, and it doesn't go bad as opposed to most other food sources. Now we'll go over to the cemetery over here to gather a book. Books will help increase your skills, and once you've read them, you can sell them for extra coin. When you arrive at the cemetery, you'll find a toilet behind this building where the local gravedigger left his reading material at for when he has to go for a number 2, I guess. Take this book, and speaking of whom, find the gravedigger and talk to him to get some good XP for your speech skill. You can find another book at this location here just north of the cemetery. When you reach this apple orchard, just next to you on the right, you'll find some steps leading up to that big tree. Underneath it, on the bench, you'll find another book. Now take it, then look up, and you'll find another bird's nest right there. Knock it down, and hopefully for you, it'll just stay in place, because there it goes. You might have to chase this one as well, but as soon as you have it, you can loot some spectacles from it. And same as with the ring, you can equip it to increase your charisma or sell it at a merchant. Now moving west, we'll stop at this group of trees, where you'll find this man with a flute sticking out of his ear. Now I know that's weird, but it could have been in a much worse place. Anyways, you can loot him for some food, a fox potion that increases speech by 3, and it increases reading speed for a whole day. This is a key item in this entire run, so hang on to it, don't sell it or use it yet, just let it sit in your inventory. Besides this, you'll also find 78 Groschen and some perfume. Now look around and you'll find this Bohemian cap, which helps to increase your charisma level further, plus a Saviour Schnapps potion, which you can use to save your game with in just a moment. Next, we'll go over here. Oh, and by the way, finding Flute Guy back there will turn out to make you even more coin later on, but we'll come to that. Once you arrive at the location, you'll find some good food items, along with 24 Groschen in this basket. Finally, we'll go over here just south of this fork in the road. When you get there, you'll see this small path leading to the right, where you'll find this target practice area. You can take the arrows from the target and also find a potion that temporarily increases your marksmanship, a bow behind the tree, and a sack that contains more arrows, another bowman's brew, a book, and 2 bow repair kits. Now you can walk back to Troskowitz or save a bit of time by fast traveling back to the center of town. It's up to you. But when you get there, you'll want to study the books that we've found so far. Now you'll get a speed reading bonus when you sit down, so park yourself on the bench near the pillory and read till about 9 p.m. So that's about 2 books. Why till about 9 p.m.? Why not later? Well, you're not allowed to be out after dark unless you're carrying a torch, but you're sitting there in the dark on a bench reading a book, so you'll be stopped by guards or at least warned. And if you're really unlucky, you may be searched, you may have to pay a fine, and we don't want to waste our hard-earned coins. So when it's around 9 p.m, you can fast forward time by sleeping on a bed. You can find one behind the cart at the tavern, or this hut here just north of town. Now the next day you can finish reading the books and then go to the Scribe, who can be found here. By the way, remember this man if you see him, because we need him in just a minute. Now go ahead and sell the 3 books to the Scribe and make sure to haggle the price, because besides getting better deals, it also increases reputation with traders in town. I should mention that selling books to a Scribe will get you slightly more coin than selling books to a tailor or a regular trader. Now it won't matter much, only a small percentage, but it's up to you if you think this is worthwhile keeping track of. Before you leave the Scribe though, off to the right you can read a book here on this stand, which will increase your scholarship skill. Now this next one can be a bit tricky and you need to find the man that I just mentioned, which is the Baliff. Now when you don't see him near the Scribe's office, look on the map and look for the white shield with the blue exclamation mark, and that's where you'll find him. Talk to him and here we'll get another 70 Groschen for telling him about Flute Guy that we found earlier. Now make sure to exhaust all dialogue options and he'll give you a waypoint to the Fresh Graves POI. For this we'll need a spade, so we'll go visit the local trader. By now Henry will also be quite hungry, so this is a good way to test the power of honey. But of course you can also eat something else. Just pay attention to the food quality or else you'll get food poisoning, which can end up with you dying in worst case scenario. Make sure to listen to the trader's story and get a waypoint for his overturned cart. Now that's something you might want to do after this guide and when you found some better armor. Now down the buy tab you can choose between taking the hunter's belt or the wanderer's pouch. The belt will unlock an extra weapon slot, so you can for example equip a sword and a bow, and the pouch will unlock something similar to a quick access slot, so when you put a healing potion there, you can quickly use one during battle. Now I recommend taking the hunter's belt because in my experience so far, it's more valuable to get in a few arrows before they close the distance, and you can then switch to a melee weapon. Further down the list you can select the spade, and then in the sell tab you can sell off anything you don't particularly want. I do recommend keeping the ring and spectacles as you don't need the money right now and they give you some extra charisma. Don't forget to haggle the price, and once you leave the trader we're gonna go over here to this shed. And here inside you'll find this Skelett's axe you can pick up without stealing. Now it's gonna have better stats than your hunting sword and pair well with what you're about to pick up next, because we're gonna look on the map for the Fresh Grace waypoint we got from the Baliff, and once there you can put that shovel to work. Now here you'll find this nice shield and some other items. There is a good chance that you're over encumbered by now and that you'll be dirty from all that digging, so it might be a good idea to walk back to town and sell some more items. If you can't be bothered to slow walk back to the trader, that's okay, you can just open your inventory, drop a couple of items so you duck back down under the weight limit again, and let's get moving to get our own horse. From the Fresh Grace POI, you'll want to make your way to the town of Sameen off to the southwest, and you can see it in the distance over there. Before you enter Sameen though, just off to the right of the entrance there's a small pond with a ramp. Here you'll find a dagger, some food and another Saviour Schnapps. You can equip the dagger so you can now make stealth kills if you manage to sneak up on an enemy from behind. Now you can enter the town, go straight ahead towards the stables, and you might just want to take off any dirt you have on you as well. Luckily there's a trough here and you'll want to consume the fox potion from your inventory. Yes, now is the time, and then save the game just in case something goes wrong. After saving, resume and pass through the barn, and there you'll find Pebbles, your horse you got separated from during the intro. Now you can get her back for free by talking to the groom and passing that speed skill check I've been yapping about for the past 10 minutes or so. But first, when you talk to him and get to the skill check section, choose the option Be Reasonable. You should succeed and now you have your own horse. If you failed, then you can always load up the save game we've just created. Now you also have a much larger inventory because you can move items between pebbles and yourself, making it easier to carry loot back to a trader. And from here on out, you're pretty well equipped to now really go out there and explore. Although I can recommend a few things that I believe are worth knowing or doing, such as finding your own room. So head north towards the B marker on the map, where you'll find blacksmith Radovan in the town of Tekov. After learning how to make a sword, he'll set you up with your own room, which includes this storage chest and of course a bed where you can fast forward time, but most importantly, save your game. Because as you might have noticed already, this game has a save system that might take some getting used to. And that's because it only saves at pretty lengthy intervals, and when you die, which is known to happen in this game, you'll lose all progress. This only applies to beds that will indicate sleep and save, but you won't always have that option around, and that's where Saviour Schnapps come in. You already have the recipe for Saviour Schnapps, and the best thing you can do right now is just craft a bunch so you're good to go for a while. For this we'll need nettle and belladonna. Now nettle is easy to find, but belladonna isn't at this stage, so fast travel back to Zemine and then head back to Groschen to this exact spot on the map. Now here you'll find a basket containing a boatload of fresh belladonna. Take it all and then fast travel back to Troskovitz, where you can find fresh nettle at the back of the herb garden. If you haven't found it yet, the herb garden is located at the back of the apothecary. Then you can go to the alchemy table and brew a nice pile of Saviour Schnapps. Now you can easily save your game right before you might start a difficult encounter, so you don't lose 30 minutes of progress or even more. Another tip is that you might have noticed you'll get the best alchemy results using fresh herbs. The best way to keep them fresh is to put them on a dry rack, and you have a few here in Troskovitz. You can select all your herbs at once, confirm your choice, and they'll be dried instantly and put in your inventory. Dried herbs don't deteriorate, so this is the best way to make sure your time collecting them won't go to waste and you maximize your alchemy results. So now that you have a basic outfit and your horse, you're in the perfect place to start the side quest, the Jaunt, which is given to you by the blacksmith once you've been given your room. The quest offers a whole lot of loot, plus this plate armor chest piece as a reward in the end. There's one important dialogue choice to make here. After you fought off the group of robbers, ask Lord Jan Zemine to wait for a moment. Don't immediately choose to ride back to town, or you'll teleport to a spot of fuel mines further up and lose this opportunity. By choosing to wait, you can loot the chest and bodies of the robbers at the camp, so you can find some good amount of Groschen and a large number of items which you can use or sell. Now once completed, go back to blacksmith Radovan, who will give you a plate armor chest piece which offers far more protection than ordinary clothing. Now there's a lot more awesome locations and scenes to discover, and I will include more of them in my upcoming videos, so subscribe and like to not miss any of it. Now I hope this video helped you out. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's fun to see you guys responding as well, all the comments. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone taking an interest in my humble channel. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care and see you later.